from your experience, what is the most common repeated question that everybody come to you with a problem or with a question that the brokers would need help with internally?
Oh, there are a lot of common questions.
Okay.
First,
Give us, I don't know, top 3.
The problem with the developer.
Okay. The developer.
Off-plan SPAs.
Yeah. Okay.
All the time questions related to additional terms and conditions to Form F, because we want to be precise that this will not go in a wrong direction. And nowadays, I have actually a lot of questions related to the rent and eviction. Eviction, I think, is the question number 1.
Yes.
And 10 times I repeat the same thing, and I'm like, why you still didn't remember that this works like this? That the eviction notice is not working from the day you received it, but from the end of your contract.
Yeah.
And they're like, why they stay? Why this person is refusing? I said, if the tenant knows the law, he will not move out, and he will be right. But if he doesn't know the law, maybe he will move out. But we have an extremely good option, which also our shareholder created, the owner of the company. When we really need some property, and we do the upgrades. We buy a lot on the Blue Waters, and we do total upgrade. He needs the person to move out from this property. So what he do, he generously suggests to pay a specific amount of money to them so they can rent something else.
So it's kind of a fair...
And move out before the notice is lapsing,
Fair compensation.
And everybody's happy.
So it's an amicable deal. That's aside from
because after you do the renovation, after you do the whole shebang, you change everything, the price become
much better,
much higher. So you don't lose from proposing the tenant in a nice way. This is the money. Please rent something, and you actually make money on that.
Right.
It helps you to make more money.
That's actually a very smart way.
And everybody's happy, and then they actually contact us, maybe help us to rent something else and this. So it's a good connection with people. So it's like very pleasant, no negativity, this kind of stuff.
One question I would like to understand from you, I know you're not administratively involved in that because someone else in your team is doing it, but I'm pretty sure you have been involved in writing or making the decisions for it. How do you accept your clients? How do you onboard them?
Oh, there's the whole KYC process.
Yes.
So basically the compliance is number 1 thing here, and any business you do, you must be compliant. So you definitely need to check the source of funds. This is number 1. And I will tell you, a lot of clients, they're saying, why should I provide a source of funds? Because in 2021, I didn't provide anything. Or somebody asked me, or somebody else filled this form for me. So we are trying to be like very nice with them, but we are telling them that if this form will not be filled in, there will be no deal. We cannot close it because, there is a fine from the government. And we need to stay clean. And I think that UAE is trying to be as clean as possible, and not even like with the laws they implemented, and everything is so easy. Like when I went through the AML and I saw like, what do you need to do? Different examples, forms, whatever. So actually you just need to sit down, check everything, do it. It's not a rocket science. It's not like, okay, easy, I will like reading a book. But some books, like I told you today, I'm not very interested, so it's tough, but you must read them. But this one, you just need to be involved, learn once, do the internal, like thoroughly, the whole investigation and all this thing, and then it becomes easy for you. So you already know what, why, how, and the explanation to the client will be also easier. So we are working on this. If somebody has a question, they come to me again asking me like, okay, what can be done, and if there will be we need to provide some documents for the proof. I was like, okay, you can do this or that. If he's working as an employee, okay, provide a certificate from your work or something, this kind of documents. Plus, you need to remember that if you work with the same client after 1 year, you have to do it again.
Yes.
If you sell, rent, or whatever, you need to do it again and again. So that, and actually I wanted to mention, like, now became a very common question here. We have a new law in Russia that the Russian tax resident cannot close the deal with another Russian tax resident in any other currency than Russian rubles.
It's a very interesting update.
Yes. So basically, when we are closing the deals here, so for example, I'm not a tax resident because I live more than 183 days outside of Russia.
Yeah.
So I'm tax resident of UAE. But we have clients who surely just have bank accounts here and they just want to buy the property, invest for the future, for their children, stuff. And they're both tax residents in Russia.
In this case, they have to do the transaction in Russian rubles.
Yes. So what's happening? What's the only way out, like when you draft the Form F, surely you will pay 4% DLD here and you will pay trustee fee here. Yeah. You can be present or your POA can come. But in the additional terms and conditions, you need to write, and this is what you do the exchange of the money in Russia. On the Russian, because you cannot exchange it here. I mean, you will not bring millions of rubles here. First, you cannot cross the border with this money.
Yes.
You cannot take them out. You are allowed to transfer the money from Russian bank to international bank, but it's limited. It's very limited. It's like $4,000 or something like that per day. So how much is it going to take you to take this money out and pay the exchange rate and stuff?
Well, how does that work with the trustee offices? Because they kind of need also proof for the transaction happening. If there is a manager's check exchange or there is a bank transfer happening, how do they make this checking?
So definitely there will be no manager check. It's impossible. And also the seller and the purchaser, they write down the statement that yes, I paid and yes, I received this money in Russia. So like this, because they cannot bring the money out.
Understood.
So it's a little bit complicated right now.
Yeah.
But it's doable, it's workable.
But if one of them is non-tax resident in Russia, then
it's not a problem.
Okay.
So the main thing, it should be you are not a tax resident in Russia and the bank account from which you are paying is not a Russian bank. Like I can buy a property here with the Russian tax resident, and I can pay here. Mm-hmm. We can close the deal here.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. Yeah. Okay. But this became a bit tough, and it's getting tougher and tougher. And now when you come to the country, you need to declare that you're not tax resident anymore. If you will not declare, you will be fined. And it's a criminal case right now.
Of course.
So
we're going to go deeper with the questions, and I will put you on the corner. You must have seen this a lot. We heard in the market that there's a lot of real estate transactions happening in crypto.
Okay.
So I would like to have your comment on that. Have you seen this, and how does these transactions happen?
I was not involved in any crypto transaction, but I know that people have they work with cryptocurrency. This is the only option for them to transfer the money. Mm-hmm. How does it happen? You want to know?
I would love to.
There are some companies here who can issue a manager check on your behalf.
That's not really a black and white transaction. This is a little bit over
yes.
gray.
So it's called conveyancing companies.
Yes.
So they also have cryptocurrency crypto wallet. So mm-hmm. we just call it, in Russian, we call it crypto.
I understand.
So the people transfer the money from it's a clean money, I'm saying, because like it's not.
I mean, this is the obligation of the conveyancing company.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they transfer the money via crypto because they don't have bank accounts here or something like this, or, then the conveyancing company issue a manager check, but they take surely the percentage for their work.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that some of the conveyancing companies, and I saw the license, don't have the activity to do this, but they somehow doing this.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, for
me, it's very strange because, like, even in Europe, when I was transferring my money to Europe when I moved there and to buy the company, I specifically did it via the lawyer in Belgium. So my money came from Dubai bank account to the lawyer there, and then from the lawyer to my new bank account in Belgium. So the government can see that this is a clean
escrow deal that is done by the book, but it's not.
That's what I suggest. Like, I mean, I think they need to use more legal firms rather than some conveyancing companies, and I think it can be your new line of business.
I totally agree with you. We have been doing this for many years, doing qualifying, agreeing, checking these deals, and we do escrow from time to time, or even it is very simple and easy to to do, but there's a lot of legal checking behind it to make sure that source of wealth, source of funds, the whole deal is real, is not just a financial transaction rather than a real estate deal. But